Have you ever been told something so confidently that you started planning your life around it, only to later find out it wasn't true? That's what just happened again with Social Security, and millions of seniors, retirees, and disability recipients could feel the sting. A bold promise was made, repeated over and over by one of the most powerful figures in the country. But now, the details are out, the paperwork is public, and the truth is unavoidable. The taxes on Social Security benefits, they're still here. That promise to end them, it didn't happen. And for people living on fixed incomes, this kind of confusion has real consequences. So, what really happened? And what can you actually count on going forward? This matters for anyone who relies on Social Security, whether you're retired, receiving SSDI, survivor benefits, SSI, or spousal support. You've probably heard by now the major claim that taxes on Social Security benefits were going away. Maybe you saw it on the news or social media. Maybe someone in your family told you excitedly that you wouldn't have to pay anything anymore. This video is for you because you deserve the truth and you deserve clarity. Misinformation about your benefits isn't just frustrating, it's dangerous. Now, here's exactly why you need to watch through to the end. Because by the time we're finished, you'll understand exactly what has and hasn't changed about Social Security taxation, who is affected, what's actually in the new law, and what all of this means for your money in the months ahead. We'll break down what the paperwork says, how it compares to the original promise, and why the fine print matters more than ever. Before we dive deep, if you find this kind of accurate, plain language breakdown helpful, make sure you're subscribed to channels or newsletters that provide fact checked updates on Social Security. Not opinions, not hype, just truth that helps you make better decisions. So let's get to the heart of it. During the campaign, and again while in office, the promise was clear: no more taxes on Social Security benefits. The message was aimed directly at seniors and disability recipients, and it resonated for a reason. Nobody wants to be taxed on money they already paid into the system, but the actual legislation that was signed into law didn't do that. Instead, it included an increase in the standard deduction for seniors over a certain age. This change does help reduce taxable income for many older adults, but it does not eliminate taxes on Social Security benefits. What's the difference? The standard deduction is what reduces your overall taxable income. It's a helpful tool, no question about it. It can lower the amount you owe. But if your income crosses certain thresholds, a portion of your Social Security benefits may still be taxable. That hasn't changed. The benefit isn't tax free across the board. And here's the thing: this isn't a small technicality, it's the entire point. Because while many seniors will see a bit of tax relief, they are still navigating a system that includes taxes on the very benefits they depend on most. Experts have already weighed in. According to policy analysts and Social Security advocates, this new legislation offers modest relief, but it falls short of the promise. And that gap matters. For households living on fixed income, knowing exactly how much will be taxed is essential. It affects how you budget. It affects whether you can cover rent, medications, groceries, or utility bills. One unexpected tax bill can throw everything off. And for many, that unexpected bill is still coming, despite what the slogans may have promised. This is why emotional honesty is so important. For someone living month to month, hearing that your benefits will no longer be taxed can feel like a lifeline. You start making plans. You breathe a little easier. But when the reality turns out different, when that promise was never backed up in law, the disappointment isn't just emotional, it's financial, it's stressful, and it's avoidable. If only the truth were shared clearly in the first place. Some people have asked whether the administration lied. That's not the most productive question. What matters more is that the language being used didn't match the reality of the policy. And when you combine complicated tax laws with big political messaging, that's a recipe for confusion. For many Americans, the difference between a deduction and a tax exemption is not obvious. And frankly, it shouldn't have to be. Our leaders should be clear. They should say exactly what's being proposed and exactly what's not. So, what's the actual cause here? Why did so many people believe that Social Security taxes were going away? It started with campaign language where phrases like "no more taxes on Social Security" were repeated without detailed explanation. The public response was massive, especially among older voters. But once the legislation was drafted and passed, the actual language told a different story. The final law gave seniors a larger deduction, but stopped short of changing the tax rules on Social Security benefits themselves. The effect? Widespread misunderstanding. Thousands of people have already reached out to financial advisors, tax preparers, and community organizations asking why they're still seeing tax notices. Some are angry, some are confused, and many are just tired of the back and forth. Because when you're living on a fixed income, you don't have room for political spin. You need facts. Looking ahead, this may not be the end of the story. There are already talks of revisiting the issue. Some lawmakers want to introduce a new bill that would fully eliminate federal taxes on Social Security benefits, regardless of other income. That would be a game changer for millions. But whether that becomes law is still unknown. It could take months or even years, and it depends heavily on which party controls Congress. So, in the meantime, what should you do? Be cautious. Plan your finances based on what's actually in the law today, not what someone says on a stage or in an interview. One of the most powerful things you can do right now is to take a moment and reflect on how much information you've been fed over the years that turned out to be incomplete or just plain wrong. It happens to all of us. But now more than ever, it's important to pause and ask, who benefits when the truth is buried under confusion? Spoiler alert, it's not you, it's not your family, and it's definitely not the people living on fixed incomes trying to make every dollar stretch. That's why these kinds of updates matter. It's not just about taxes or deductions, it's about restoring confidence and giving you the knowledge to make real smart decisions. And when you share what you've learned with your neighbor, your cousin, or your old friend from church, you're doing more than just passing along information. You're showing that someone still cares enough to tell the truth. And that brings us to a bigger message here. This entire process, benefits, taxes, deductions, policies, it all seems complicated on purpose. Because the more complicated it is, the easier it is to keep people in the dark. That's why this kind of content is so important and why your voice and your story matter. The more we help each other understand what's really going on, the less power confusion and misinformation have over us. So don't wait for permission to be informed. Don't let your voice be drowned out by empty promises. Keep watching, keep asking, and keep sharing. Because what's at stake isn't just your tax bill, it's your peace of mind. And you deserve better than guesswork. You deserve clarity. To summarize, yes, there was a new law. Yes, it included tax relief in the form of a larger deduction for older adults. But no, it did not remove taxes on Social Security benefits. That promise remains unfulfilled. And for now, the old rules still apply. If your income is above certain thresholds, part of your benefits may still be taxable. Now more than ever, it's crucial to stay informed. Double check what you hear. Talk to someone you